In this course, we'll do a deep dive of how we can implement behavior-driven testing using Cucumber. You have already covered the basics so far. This course will dive deeper into individual topics, starting with assertions. We'll continue working with Selenium to test the same source demo website that we've used so far. We'll perform our demos in the same project. You can see the project is called Learning Cucumber. I'm writing my Cucumber Java code in IntelliJ IDEA. I have the latest community edition installed. Learning Cucumber is a Maven project that I've already set up, and I continue to use Java version 17. Now, within my Maven project, I have my pom.xml. This is where I've configured the dependencies that we need to work with Selenium, TestNG, and Cucumber. Let's quickly verify that you have the right dependencies set up. The first thing to note in the pom.xml file is the properties tag. Within that, we have Maven compiler source and target both set to JDK 17. That's the Java version I have installed, and that's the Java version I use to compile my code. The first dependency that I have in my dependencies section on lines 18 through 22 is for Selenium Java. This library provides the core Selenium bindings for Java, allowing you to write test scripts that interact with web browsers in an automated way. The second dependency on lines 24 through 29 is for the TestNG framework. This is designed to simplify the writing and execution of test cases in Java. It gives you features such as annotations, grouping, data-driven testing, and parallel test execution. This is what we'll use to run our tests and use assertions to verify that things are as we expect. Then we have the Cucumber dependency on lines 31 through 36. Cucumber Java allows you to write step definitions in Java for scenarios defined in Gherkin files. Gherkin is the human-readable Cucumber feature file syntax, which is associated with executable Java code, and this is what enables behavior-driven development. And finally, the last dependency here at the bottom, on lines 38 through 43, we have the Cucumber TestNG dependency. This integrates Cucumber with the TestNG framework that we're using. So we can run Cucumber scenarios as TestNG tests. Now for all of these dependencies, I've used the latest version of the library available at the time of this recording. I'll just make sure these dependencies are available locally. Click on that little icon and Maven will then download these libraries from the remote repository down to the repository on your local machine and make them available to your project. Now, IntelliJ makes available two plugins that are incredibly useful when you're working with Gherkin feature files and Cucumber. Let's go ahead and install those. Go to the IntelliJ IDEA menu, bring up the Preferences dialog or the Settings dialog, and here within Plugins, search for Cucumber for Java. Now, if this is already installed, you already have it, there's nothing to do there. If it's not, go ahead and install this plugin. You can see that this plugin provides coding assistance for step definitions and also gives you a dedicated run debug configuration type within IntelliJ. So you won't have any additional work to do to actually run your code. We know that Cucumber uses Gherkin, a domain-specific language that is used to write test scenarios in a human-readable way. Gherkin is plain text but follows a formal syntax. The Gherkin plugin in IntelliJ will give you syntax highlighting and coding assistance for step definitions. Go ahead and hit apply and install both of these plugins. Now, once you're done with this and both of these plugins have been installed, make sure that you restart your IntelliJ. Otherwise, those plugins won't be available. You can see that I now have Cucumber for Java and Gherkin installed. We are ready to write some code. I've restarted my machine so that the plugins have been successfully installed and are enabled, and I'm now ready to show you the files that I have. In this demo, we'll explore the different types of assertions that you can use while testing. Assertions, as you know, are conditions that you place in your test code to check whether the application's actual behavior matches what you expect. If the assertion passes, the test continues. If it fails, the test is marked as failed, and that signals a defect or a mismatch. In short, assertions are checkpoints in automated tests that validate the correctness and reliability of the system under test. Let's first take a look at the structure of our project and the files that we have, and then we'll fill in the details. We have our login.feature file that's present in our resources folder under features. In a Maven project, Cucumber expects the login.feature file to be present in the resources directory. And creating subfolders for the different features, that makes sense, makes it easier to organize your code. My Java code for my test cases is under source test Java com lunicorn learning cucumber. Within that, I have a step definitions.java file which will contain the individual steps corresponding to my feature steps. Currently, the step definitions file is empty as well. Our tests will be executed using the test runner. The test runner serves as the glue or the orchestrator between our feature files and our step definition implementations in Java. It will find the right step implementations for every step that we specify in the feature file and execute those in the right order. We'll come to the details of this in just a bit. Let's take a look at the last class I have here, driverFactory.java. This serves as a utility class, and we'll use this to instantiate the Selenium driver that will bring up the browser